It was we the people, not we the white male citizens, nor yet we the male citizens, but we the whole people who formed the Union. Susan B. Anthony. On November 2nd, 1920, more than 8 million women voted for the first time in American history. It was 144 years after Thomas Jefferson proclaimed equality as the foundation of our government that women were granted the right to participate in the electoral process. Two women would spearhead the development and eventual success of the women's suffrage movement: Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony. Together, they would revolutionize the political and social condition of women in American society. In the early 19th century, women had few rights. They were barred from most professions. Opportunities to attend college were almost non-existent, and they could not vote. A married woman was legally the property of her husband. Everything she had belonged to him. But in 1848, a group of young women became determined to overthrow the customs and laws regarding women. They met in Seneca Falls, New York, at a conference on women's rights. Among those in attendance were Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony, two women who would challenge America to launch a social revolution. While at the conference, Stanton and Anthony adopted a statement on women's rights deliberately modeled on the Declaration of Independence. In it, they would accuse the nation of entire disfranchisement of half the population and demand the rights and privileges that belong to all persons as citizens of the United States. Stanton and Anthony would also cement their battle for women's suffrage, or the right to vote, as the primary goal of their movement. They believed this would lead to the greatest social and political changes. Over the next several decades, their movement would inspire countless Americans to social and political activism. Stanton became the leading voice and philosopher of the women's rights and suffrage movement. And Anthony became the powerhouse of the movement, leading legions of women in the struggle for voting rights. They devoted 50 years to the women's suffrage movement, but neither one lived to see women gain the right to vote. Today, they are remembered for their unequivocal determination in fighting for equal treatment under the law.